Well, good afternoon, everybody, and we've got matches every day. It seems like you get the feeling it's like every day, but not quite. But we are back on Virtual Pool 4 Online. We're back for another couple of matches today in the Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. Good afternoon to Mark. We have one lost side matches today, and the first one is going to start in about 5 minutes, and that is between Mr. Fox and Bill, a race to 13. And then later on today at 8 PM British summertime tonight, we have Albinario against Hairpig. Now, last night, of course, we had the big showdown, the hot seat match between Cobra, not Cobra, jeez, not the hot seat match to see who would go through. I'll start again. We had the match to see who would go through to play Cobra in the hot seat match. And that match last night was between Real Poland Power, Stubb, that is, and Spectre Dawn. And, well, it wasn't a classic. I thought Spectre Dawn was dead and buried when he got stuck in 13. Misshape on whatever ball it was. I think he was locked behind the 7. And then from that moment on, he almost fell out the game completely. And then Stubb done some crazy things. One notable crazy thing was a pretty straight in 5 ball that he seemed to hang in the pocket in the corner. I don't know how. And basically, to cut a long story short, Spectre Dawn had a chance to win it. It went to a final rack decider. Stubb managed to snatch it at the end. But let's be honest, neither of those two guys are going to threaten to win this if they don't up their game by quite a bit. I think the one disappointing thing last night was the breaks just were not working for them at all. The stats prove that the break was horrible last night. It didn't work for anyone. I think Spectre Dawn had 3 racks ran, and I think Stubb got 1, or the other way around, or maybe Stubb got 3 and he got 1, but it was really poor. But I've got good news, bad news, and bad news. The good news is somebody's going to win today and go through to the next round. The bad news is somebody's time in the tournament is going to end. And the other bad news is that the winner of this match, well, the really bad news is we'll show you. They've got an appointment with Mal in the next round, who no doubt will still be nursing his bruises from his last match, ending up in the one lost side after getting beat by Cobra. So that's the bad news for whoever wins this match. They're going to have to deal with Mal. Now, in a race to 13, any of these two guys should fancy their chances. Mr. Fox, the surprise there is he came through fairly comfortably against Bedhead. Bedhead must have had a bad night, or the break was working for Mr. Fox, one of the two, but that was a fairly comfortable win, 13 racks to 5. And then, of course, we have the match later tonight between Hairpig and Albinario. Albinario has been red hot in this one lost side. If you haven't seen any of his matches, he's been deadly, meaning business. And that's probably a good thing, with the fact that he ended up going to the one lost side fairly early on, because he knew that it's effectively the last chance saloon each match he has to win them. And he's going about it in a proper fashion. The winner of this match will meet Spectre Dawn, and Hairpig's going to have a tough ask tonight. He's going to have to score when he gets a chance, and if he doesn't, he's out. No doubt about that. We have... Oh, the other good news is I've ordered a new mobile phone, the first phone I've had in 7 years. I've only ever had 2 phones, and the one I've got just now is this old ancient Samsung Galaxy something or other, which is only 3G, and which is all the software and everything's totally out of date. There's virtually zero memory in it, and I've got a new Samsung Galaxy, what is it, a 71 or something coming tomorrow. And again, I'll probably never use it, but I'm expecting all of you to give me your mobile number so I can send you abusive texts while I've got nothing else to do. So I've got that coming tomorrow. The only reason I ever had the phone was obviously having to travel to work in the car in the winter time, especially depending on how the weather closes in. If I get a breakdown or whatever, and also to use it with the app that we use at work for checking stock availability. That's the only reason I ever got it. Right, settings, miscellaneous, colour, blue. So, Mr. Fox is in. Bill's letting him stew for a minute or two. And another record last night was broken. I know it's nothing major for me, but it actually beat our amount of viewers last night. We had 41 in the stream last night at peak time. So that's another new record. And meantime, Mr. Fox has won the lag. So off we go, race to 13. Good. Well, this is right round about siesta time for Jose. I'm surprised he's still awake. Right in the middle of the afternoon, Spanish time. So Mr. Fox breaks off, couple of balls in the break, and immediately, has he got a shot? Yes, he has. He's just got to drop this in. No, I'm certainly not working at the moment, Jose. I'm off. I'm off today, and I'm off tomorrow. So the combo on the 9 made short work of that rack, and that was a break and run for Mr. Fox. Winning the lag, breaking off, running the table. Another ball in the break, and well, what a contrast from last night straight away. We've had two breaks, a ball in the break and a shot in the 1, and a chance to run out. Now, this is just slightly the wrong angle on this. And that's why he's trying to draw away from the 4, because the cue ball going forward just wanted to go somewhere to the right of the 4, so he had to take evasive action. That's what's caused the miss, but I'll tell you something here. This is where Bill can't hang about. These chances might be not very many, but he's got to put this away, even early on like this. I think there only is the 3 years in the stream. I'm expecting there wouldn't be that many this time of day. Oh, a waiter. Yeah, his waiter's name's Manuel. Oh dear. Okay. Well, Bill is going to have to resort to the old jump stick escape route. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to Mooncake, RD Techie. So you're the expert in PCs, are you? What was it was causing my PC to keep restarting then? You never ever told me that one. It kept restarting out of the blue, and now, since I get rid of those, which I think was the main cause of it, since I get rid of those Trojans, that seems to have cured it. It was those bloody miner things, what do you call them again, Bitcoin miner Trojans that I had on board that was doing it. They were overheating the system probably. That's why when I was looking at the errors I was getting the standard sort of power error, or whatever the hell it was, but everything's been great since I got rid of them. Meanwhile, Bill's bailed out with the jump cue. He still halfway home in terms of getting his rack taken care of, but has to do it. It is a must. And of course, plenty of room to see this 8-ball. There's absolutely no reason not to be. And again, he might not want to even check this up. He just wants to drop this 7 in. He's going to have a shot. Well, that'll do. We've got to get the pace right now. Question of whether he ends up taking this in the middle or going back across the table too far. He doesn't want to do that. What does that say there? Matter of a what? Somebody explain that in English, whatever that means. Anyway, Mr. Bill has duly obliged and did what he must do. Pinch the rack, 9-ball hanging over the corner. The break though from Bill is dry. Ah, right, so basically what you're saying, it's my fault, it's me. Now, what is going to happen here with this 9-ball? Now, is he looking to... Well, he's looking to cut the one. Yeah, that narrows it down, Jose. Engineer. Yeah, let's not be vague, Jose. He's trying to billiard the 9, I think, or kill 2 birds with 1 stone, billiard it or play safe, which he's managed to do in the end. You could be it could be a domestic engineer, Mark, which basically means he washes the dishes while his good lady goes out to work. Yeah, he's an engineer. I mean, Steve calls himself an engineer. And, I mean, if you walked up to Steve Chaplin and said, what is it you do? Steve calls himself an engineer. But he mucks about with software, doesn't he? I wouldn't call that an engineer, but that's the title he gives himself. Yeah, but he still, I mean, any time he's mentioned anything, he said he's an engineer. Mind you, he could be a qualified engineer by trade. Could he worked in aerospace and various other techie things like that? Yeah, that probably got him a few grand extra in his first wages by calling himself a software engineer. Where's this cue ball going? It's going dangerously close. I think it's going to hang up though. Yeah. Well, this is tricky if you try and punch this one up the table and try and dig into the cue ball and somehow stun along the rail, because you've got to put too much force in it to do that, and then this one ball could squirt everywhere else. So he's done the right thing, played it right side and got the distance. But this has got to be an attempted bank, I would think, here, unless he wants to just play it safe again, because that pocket there may well be a fair bit bigger for an attempted bank. Even if this cue ball gets to the rail like that, something along those lines, it would still kick in off the 9. Yeah, he's doing the other option, which is the more sensible one, hiding it away. Not a difficult kick, I don't think. Let's see, there's an edge of the one shown from somewhere along that middle diamond there, or just there or thereabouts in the middle diamond. Oh, he's hit the 3. Well, I know where I'm coming to for free technical advice from now on then. Good afternoon to Bav from Germany. Stub, you're saying this word love far too often. You got lucky last night. You need to admit that. I mean, what with that choker you had in the 5-ball? Explain that one. So you're advertising yourself out as antivirus now, Stub. What's that, Semi? I'm too busy reading the chat. What does 6B mean? Oh, was it a 6? Was it a 6-ball he choked on? No, he missed a straight in 5, Stub did last night. Did you not see that one? That was... He was playing a 5-ball down here into this pocket, and he rattled it in the jaws last night. I distinctly remember it. He must have missed a 6 as well then, because he definitely missed a 5. Anyway, he's still not told us why he choked on it. Well, I know a fair remember. I mean, it was as bad. Put it this way, it was as bad as a Cobra straight in 9-ball that Cobra missed, and Cobra will never forget that one. Just ask him. You Stub had a brain fart there. Anyway, Mr. Fox. Now he doesn't want to nudge this off the rail too much. He just skimmed it off the 9. Sorry about that. Sorry I mentioned it. So the technical term for a brain fart now is a Larry. Good afternoon to Hazard. Mr. Fox about to seal the deal on a 2-1 lead. Race to 13 on the 1 lost side. Oh, where's the cue ball going? Oh dear. Now that was a big risk. But barring running the cue ball up and down the table and scratching, this shouldn't be a problem, this, because it's well off the rail. So 2-1. Well, I know who I'm putting my money on for the tournament, and that'll probably ruin his chances. I'm going for Albinario. He's meaning business. That's who I'm sticking my money on to roar through the 1 lost side and take on the championship. I'm sure Albinario will be glad to hear that as well, that I've nominated him as the winner of the tournament. That'll really scupper his chances. His nerves will be shattered. Inspector on, of course, he's still got plenty of time to get some practice in. Well, if you could have played decent position, Stub, you'd have done a lot more of it. Especially last night. But you're still relying on the outrageous cuts and pots to keep it going. And Bill, good opportunity for the combo, gets it straight away, and quickly back all square. Well, good enough, solid break, but absolutely not a jot happening there for Bill. And once again, it's not the fact that you get the dry break, it's the fact that you leave your opponent straight on in the one ball in the middle. And, well, the issue is going to be the 3 ball, bearing in mind where the 2 ball is, and the fact that the 3 ball is blocked by the 4. I mean, it's awkward. Okay, see you later. You can watch the highlights when you get home. So, now, the 3 ball will go behind the 8, I think, into the middle. It's tight that way if you finish down the bottom side here, but there's not an awful lot more options other than trying to play a combo on it. He's trying to get bottom side. That's going to scratch, I think. It's going to scratch. No, it isn't. Just caught the tip there. The point of that rail that kept it up out the pocket. 4 is adjacent. So it's just about rolling onto the 8 ball here. Now, got to kill it stone dead. Or a little roll through like that. Oh dear. Now is that a vital error? With the table at his mercy, can Bill take advantage? I mean, it is not a pretty position, this. He's going to have to run it. I mean, all out, let the cue ball take its path. And, well, if he gets a spin on it, the cue ball should be down in a similar area. Just got to avoid the scratch. And he's just overhit it a tad, but there's no problem cutting this. And that is one that's got away for Mr. Fox. So it's one stolen by Bill. And again, I'm sure there's nothing went down there, was there? Nope. And of course, another shot to get started again. I think he can just squirt out behind the 9, but the problem, of course, is he has to just roll through now and commit himself to the 4-7 combo. The 6 ball, not a problem past the 9. Well, going to take another good shot here, and the pressure is immediately on Mr. Fox here to deliver, because he's gave away that last rack. He's got to get the 4, and to prevent him wasting another opportunity, but he may well have got away with it. But that is a bank every day, that 4 ball. And Bill's just got to be careful with the cue ball, though he can't get carried away with the bank and forget about the cue ball. And that will do. But it's another one significantly from the 2 efforts by Mr. Fox where he's blown them and given Bill the opportunity to pinch 2 racks. That's the difference. It's minute differences, but those vital errors and unforced errors at that. Oh, Bill, what have you done here? You've tried to nurse it in rather than being 100% committed. And there was plenty of room in the table to manoeuvre the cue ball to get to the 6, and Bill's gifted it back there. That was a bad one. Well, it depends what's on their menu, because their menu changes every so often. You've got those specials on, the foot-long specials and stuff. What was the last Subway I had? It was beef. It wasn't meatballs. It was like pulled beef or something like that. With that honey, what is it you call it? The something honey sauce on the top of it. That was lovely. On whatever it was, the cheese, the crusty cheesy bread or whatever. It's been a while since I've had a Subway. In fact, I basically haven't had a Subway since even before the pandemic started. So Bill made a big boo-boo there. He should have been... and this is what we talk about, commitment to a shot. He tried to sort of nurse that in, and was trying to hold the cue ball for no real reason, because he had loads of room to manoeuvre the cue ball. He could have stunned that ball in firmly and still have had a shot in the 6. And it was a bit tentative, and he's paid the price. Gifted it back to Mr. Fox. We're all square. Oh, I mean, the only thing see when they ask you what do you want as toppings, I only ever say 2 things in Subway. The only 2 things I ever get in Subway as a topping is the spicy cheese and the pickles. I don't want any other jalapeno stuff, none of that stuff, and I don't want salad, certainly. I don't want, more green foliage on stuff that I'm eating than what's hanging in the trees out and about. So I don't have any of that crap on my stuff. It's spicy cheese and the pickles, and that's it. And that honey and whatever it is sauce. That's all that ever goes on to my Subways. That's right. This isn't my fault, by the way. I didn't start talking about food. You want to blame Semi-Pro for that one. Oh, red onions as well. I forgot about that. Yeah, the red onions. Yeah. Now, who is Mr. M disguised as? That's a name I haven't seen. Who's this person masquerading as? Well, Mr. Fox, given ball in hand from the missed attempt by Bill. And this match could just turn on its head in the space of 2 racks. he's again trying to manoeuvre that cue ball. As soon as you put that spin in the cue ball to force it around the corner, you're setting that 6 ball offline, and you've got to compensate for that. Compensate for it, and it's rattled in the jaws, and Bill has been given his lifeline again. I've never seen Mr. M before, that's a new one. Welcome anyway. So Bill, from looking at going one rack behind, he's been gifted the opportunity to snatch the lead again. So, into rack number 8. Bill with a 1 rack lead and a break. Rack was going slightly left, and a couple of balls in the break. But again, Bill's not getting the luck in his break. He's getting the ball, but he's not really getting a comfortable shot. And what did we lose there? We lost the 2 and the 5. And that bank, well, the bank is there. He's going to have to pick the line for it though. It's not dead set, but he's played it well, except the cue ball. Now what does he do? Again, he could easily play the 3 to the 8 and maybe even get lucky and tuck in behind the 6 and run the cue ball away. But he's going all out for the cut. Well, I tried looking at the when I went on yesterday. I was looking at the pack and I was breaking opposite. When I looked down at the top of the pack, I was looking at the back of the rack and seeing where the space was, if there was a space, and breaking from the opposite side of the space to see if that would work. That made no difference. In the end, that's why I gave up as well. Now, I don't know whether Bill went for a pot there or he played the safety. If he played the safety, he's done the right thing. What's happening here with the 4 though? 4 is getting kicked in. Now, problem with that is you get the luck with kicking the 4 in, and now you get a pressure shot in the 6. I mean, this 6 will go. You've got to lash at it with a bit of power to make it go across the table, obviously. And then you're running the cue ball, and where's the cue ball going to end up? Well, that isn't bad. I would settle for that one. So we could be all squared again. Well, Steve has mentioned that he's going to change. He's going to change the physics slightly to see if it will change the break. Well, for the good, I believe that's what he said. So we'll see what happens if he ever gets round to that. He was going to change something. So we're all square. Into rack number 9. Now that rack, I'm wasting my time doing this because it'll be gone in a second. There you go. I didn't hear anything go in again. 2 balls hanging. Break is dry. Now, how are we looking here? Well, he's looking to... I think he's a bit straight, but he's going to have to just go to the rail, come into the gap. No, he's not even risking that. Well, I'm not sure this is quite as convenient to get good on the 4, because the cue ball's running towards the 9. The line he'll have in the 4 won't be very pretty, so that forces him into trying to do something with the cue ball. I thought it'd have been better to come out in the gap between the 7 and the 9 to give you a better choice of what you can do with the cue ball to get to the 4. Well, he's just managed to drop through. He's okay. Oh no, he'll be here all bloody day doing that. Requesting a re-rack. You'd have stubbed doing that sitting, 18, 17 behind. Stubb would be requesting a re-rack about 5 or 6 times in a row. Well, Bill, again, well, it's the same for both players. You get a chance and the table's open, you've got to do it. We're well past the stage where you're needing 2 and 3 goes to run a rack. You have to get it done. This is another tricky one. It's into a blind pocket, the cut in the middle, and the cue ball's running. And this is not a guaranteed out from where he's sitting right now. Well, he's got the first part, but the second part is way short. And this is where you don't want to be ever on the 9 ball. I don't even like the cut from there. But this is a pressure cut. Yep. And of course he's scratched as well. I mean, this is where you're taking your life in your hands doing that, because you just don't have any real control of the cue ball, and it's going to find a hole, and the rack's gone. And that was the difficulty with that 8 ball. Looks so simple, 2 balls on the table, all you have to do is cut the 8 and go up and down the table to go on the 9. It's amazing how things go wrong. That's a good point as well. I wonder how many guys have experimented. I mean, I think most of the guys are breaking. I think most of the guys are breaking without the amp, because of the modern technology with the mice. A lot of guys will have a switching button to switch up the DPI, and therefore increase the speed in their brake, and not use the amplify button. But I'm wondering how many guys have actually decided to do nothing on their brake shot and just experiment, alternate between both to see if they can get a brake that works. Be interested to find out if anybody does that. Well, Bill, again, looking to Old Faithful to dig him out a hole. Situation now, though, is the 1's hanging. He's trailing by 1. And Mr. Fox has a table at his mercy. Yeah, I mean, I've still got, as I said, I've been using my G5 for the last few weeks. Well, there's the 3 hung. And the G5, the old Logitech G5 mouse has got the two, it's got the two buttons above the centre, the scroll wheel, and the one's to pop it up the DPI, the other one's to go down. And I was just using that rather than using that. Well, Bill's committed the cardinal sin of the ball deep in the pocket. You've got to get the top-down view and have a look at that ball in the pocket, because it's a lot tighter than you think it is. And Bill has completely missed it, going round the jaws. He's missed the touch in the 3, and that really is a gift of a chance for Bill that he's just thrown away there. You've got to get right up to that ball before you commit yourself to play that shot and see just how much that ball is lying in the pocket. When you're talking about the template rack, Semi, you talking about the magic rack? Is that another name for the magic rack? Or am I getting things mixed up? I know some of my best mice for VP are all cheap. I mean, the one I'm using right now is a thing I got out of a pound shop. Although, well, it wasn't. Technically, it's not a pound shop, but basically everything in it is cheap. And this cheap mouse was there. It's just one of these cheap ones with retractable cable, and it only cost £2 or £3, and that's the one I'm using right now. And it's as good as anything I've used. But now we have a break, and the break is now a break of 2 racks now, in the lead for Mr. Fox over Bill, and Bill's got to be kicking himself. I mean, he's done that often enough, and we've all done it often enough, but in that situation, to get right on the top down view to check that ball, and it's cost him. So Bill is in trouble. He's in trouble simply because it is only a short race to 13. And that 2 rack deficit, he doesn't want to be contributing any more to it. Now looking to push. Well, the thing is that Mr. Fox can have a free go at this 1 ball, and the chances are if he overcuts it, if he overcuts that one, he can send it to there and run the cue ball down to here and have a shot in the 2. So it's almost like a shot to nothing here on this one. It's tight, but it does go, and Bill's relying on him taking the bait. And, well, I think he's hit that way too thin for it to be maybe a definite attempted pot, but he did get a shot in the 2, so it was well worth having a go. That trap that Bill set there, he's got a possible billiard. He's got a possible billiard onto the 8, but not risking it. And that's a better touch than Spectre Don had last night for his little delicate soft shots. Spectre Don needs to work on those. So, I think they're just looking to catch this, push the one up the table and keep the cue ball here. Well, he's missed it. And Bill now has at least a chance. But things have just got a wee bit more complicated with this 5 ball being here. Because the other problem is the 2's tight to the 7 in terms of the room that you have to manoeuvre around the 2. And that is going to be the problem. But Bill's not wasting that time. He's got the 1-9. And that saves any of that hassle. So, Bill's got it back to within 1. He's got a ball in the break. And he has a shot in the 1. And he's hung the 1 again. He's trying to baby that cue ball down to the 2. Now what does that 2-8 look like from this side? Well, it isn't bad if you can get there. I think you've got to get over past. He's missed it. And that is as good as can be expected, to be honest with you, from where that was. Now with this one, again, you've got to get the spin action in it just to go through the gap. Needs a wee bit more off the rail. Now, 5 ball will act as a stopper. Doesn't want to thump into this 5 ball, just let the weight of the cue ball die on the 5 ball, and then he's got a straight in 4. Well, he's taking evasive action. And he's ended up dead straight in the 4. Just a soft drawback. So odds on Mr. Fox is going to open that gap again. Good afternoon to Keith. The rule they've got is the rule in the Moscone Cup, not where the players can't challenge the referee's racking. I think that's one of the rules in that tournament. The referee racks the balls or re-racks them, but the players can't. The players can't ask for anything to be done or re-racked or something like that. Some tournaments, I believe, are rack your own in the States. Bearing in mind there's lots of different semi-pro and amateur tournaments going on. There are all sorts of different racking rules. Well, that's a sore one there, because that 9 ball in the break has got to hurt. And suddenly there's a 3 rack lead, and suddenly there's a crisis on for Bill. And the 2 ball's gone, the bank's on in the 1, and the 3 ball is going to be a combo with the 6 if this goes in. Oh, well, he was given it the chance to go in. Hit the wrong button here, hang on a minute. He's given it the chance to go in, and this 6 is going to go in, no problem. Bill's got to make sure he he nudges this hard enough that the 3 ball goes nearer the pocket. And see, the 3 ball stayed where it was. The good thing is he's managed to get the cue ball back across to get on it, because that could have been ugly if the cue ball had stayed somewhere over here. But need I say anything more than this is vital, and I think that 5 ball is not a problem. Again, the problem is just a gentle little soft draw, just to hold it. Well, this has got all the room in the world to come around behind this 9 ball when he pots the 8. But what's going to decide that is how good the angle is he's going to have on this 8 ball. Because it might not seem anything important, but it will do in a second. Now you see, I would now just go forward. Just straight forward, and in fact he's not even risking that. He's leaving it across table into the middle, but you could have went forward and come back up and took that in the opposite corner, but whatever he's comfortable with is what matters. And what matters now is getting a ball in a shot again. 3 ball in the break. And that 1 ball's going to go nowhere. Cue ball's running behind the 7 and 9. He can see the 1, but he can't do much with it. The other problem as well is where's he going to push? He's just trying to nurse it down towards the 4. And that is not far enough. I think you can see enough of that. You can see all of it, in fact, to play the combo. Well, where's the cue ball going? Oh, just nudges the point again. Dyson with danger there, Mr. Fox. Now, the 7 ball is a problem again. It's all down to where the 6 ball is as to why the 7 ball's a problem, because you must have that shot in the 6 that allows you to get down the bottom of the table here. You've got to be thinking ahead. Even though you're on the 2 ball, you've got to be thinking ahead of how you're going to first of all get from this 2 onto the 5. He's played the stun draw. Now remember what I said. This looks as if it's not going to be anything else other than a draw down to the bottom of the table, but it's the only way he can get to the 7 the way I see it, unless he's trying to come up short on the inside. Now does he... Well, he's looking to play the bank then. You don't tell me that will pot from there, are you? No. And the bank just goes and no more. Well, Bill is running out of racks. And Mr. Fox moves 1 closer. It's now 9-6. There's a name I've never seen before enter the room. City. Never seen that name. And another ball in the break. And once again, even though he's not got a good shot in the 1, he's got a great safety shot available here. I mean, he's got a couple of ways. He can go that way with the cue ball there, send a one down the table. He can go off the one, go this way, and get down here somewhere. He's got two choices. So he's going that way, trying to nudge in behind the 7. Nice little kiss in the 7. And the one ball's tucked. I like that as a safety. I mean, it's not difficult for Bill to jump the 5 and hit the 1. The difficulty Bill's got is that when he hits this 1, the chances are he's going to bank it onto there, hit the 8, and it's going to keep that 1 ball there. But can he get the cue ball away? Well, he's missed the 8. Well, I'll tell you something. I'll be more than pleased with that outcome. The fact that it missed the 8, and it's now, of course, resting hidden behind the 2 and 3, is a great outcome. And it's not easy by any means to get to. He's trying to bend it, and he's actually overcooked it. Just overcooked it with English. And this is it. The question has been asked of Bill. There's ball in hand, Bill. Let's see what you can do. Now this is dangerous if he plays that 2 off the 3. He's got to play this too long. He can't play that 2 off the 3 into the middle. He's got to play it into that pocket, I think. He can't be doing this business. Well, he is. And he hasn't played it off it. I thought he was thinking of maybe nudging it in off the 3. But it's still a little delicate cut, this. Good afternoon to Mal. Well, the 5 ball goes, that isn't an issue. And he's got loads of room to just let this cue ball run in behind the 9, over to the side rail and back out. Now, what's the line he's got though? Well, I like this as a shot. It's a good enough angle just to stun onto the side rail. Maybe a wee, well, he's going straight draw by the look of it. Yeah. I would always tend to want to use the rail to come this way. So I'm leaving myself higher on it. That way you can cut it and get up past the middle pocket for where the 9's sitting. See, he's now dead straight. And now he's in that no man land territory. The shot I was thinking of would have been better for me, because I would have been able to cut that 8 and run the cue ball up with the right weight just past the middle pocket for the cut. And Bill has managed to escape there. So that's 1 back. He's still trailing by 2 though, and needs the break to start working for him. 1 ball's definitely going in, 2 balls heading down table, 2 ball is on, and this rack is there for you, Bill. And again, it's stating the obvious. You just cannot make a mistake. Too deep in this tournament to be making unforced errors with a table like this. And here's where it can go wrong. I mean, there's plenty of room. Now, it depends what he does with the cue ball. Now, if he misses a 7, he's in reasonable shape. And the other problem though is this 9 ball's annoying. The 9 ball is annoying where it's sitting, because you're going to hit it one way or another. The question is how soft you're going to hit it and where it's... Now if this hits that half of the 9 ball, it could be hooked behind the 7 here. He's avoided it. But he's forgot about the 4, and that's where that little That little 9 ball playing in his mind there and avoiding hooking himself has caused the missing the 4. And that's how things play in your mind when you don't quite get that shape. And that 9 ball was just annoying. If he'd hit that with any weight, he could have ended up there. So he nursed the 4 to avoid the 9, and he's hung the 4, and that's fatal. Oh, well, it might not be fatal, because Mr. Fox, trying to help the 6 in, has left it hanging. And can Bill get out of jail? This will be better than anything Steve McQueen's ever done. This rack. Oh, well, that was, again, a bit tentative, wasn't it? I mean, you've got a wide open table. You know, get the cue ball anywhere but there. Now, what does he do? Is he going to just roll this in pocket weight and stay bottom side of the table to cut the 8? Yes, he's trying that. And now he's stuck to the rail. So now he's got to cut this and run it off the rail, back across into the table, avoiding any scratch. He spun it. That spin has killed it. It's killed it. Well, good luck. And straight into the rail. And that's going to come back nicely into play, I think. Well, maybe not. It's just caught the knuckle. And this time the knuckle's done Bill a favour. It's left Mr. Fox with a horrible shot in this 9. He's lining up the bank. It's hit the point. 9 balls coming into play, and Bill's got a gift to get back within 1. And I could hear the sigh of relief there coming from Bill. Well, that's exactly what he did there, Semi. That momentum and the spin killed the cue ball. And that's why he ended up in not too good a shape on the 9. And ended up missing the 9. But anyway, he got away with it. Oh, well, that was some attempt by Bill there. Almost pulled it off, but Bill could be in dire straits here in a second if Mr. Fox can get this shot right. He could have Bill in a lot of trouble. And is that 1 ball just squirted out? Because Mr. Bill could have Mr. Fox in a lot of trouble. Yep. Just a feather edge of that 1 ball. Needs to make sure he doesn't run towards the 4. Yeah, he just got the feather edge, because if he'd run over to the 4, he'd have left a cut. Well, this is a chance of getting kicked in, and it has done. And that's a cracking shot. Now, he's got to use the 5. He's got to use the 5 for the billiard into the middle. No, this looks fairly straightforward when you look at it. Just hit that 5 on the right side and it's got to go in the middle. And he's back for an attempt at the 3-9. Well, this is a vital combo. Got to have every faith on the line that you're taking on that 3 ball. And once you've made that decision, you're committed to it. And again, played it well. And it takes Mr. Fox into double figures. opens the gap to 2. Four ball in a break. 1 ball is in the open into the middle pocket. 2 ball is going to have to be a combo. I don't think he can get behind the 2. No. The simple shot obviously is just roll the 1 in and make sure you go far enough past this 3 ball to leave yourself a pretty good 2-8 combo. And I think that was, well, as they say in the snooker commentary, if he could have put it there with his hand, he wouldn't have put it any better. That's about as good as you could get. But look at the 2 ball, and it's just still in play. It did its best to get away there. Well, this is a pressure visit. All the balls are there. It's getting on the 3 that matters. Oh, now half a hit on that right side of the 9 has done him a big favour. Now I think he can stun this in. I know what I'd be doing. I'd be stunning it in and just dropping through for the 5. The angle's nice enough to do that. You just got to go right through with the shot and you'll get there. But he's taking the safe route. And he's got perfect line in the 5. Now, the vital one, because we all know the 7 doesn't go past the 9. He's got a good angle to drop up here for the short side on the right side of the 7. The pace looks good. Well, he's not missing this. This is too good a line. And it's going to go to 3, and Mr. Fox within 2 of a showdown with Mal. So, well, the only way now is forward for Bill. Mr. Fox has came up dry, but Bill's not getting a break. He's not getting a break of the ball. He's got no shot. And look at the table. I mean, this table wide open. Now, what does Bill do? Does he just does he play the push? Does he play a kick? If he plays a kick and doesn't get it safe, this rack's gone. At least that's what you'd think. That every ball has a pocket. He can't push anywhere here. If he pushes over here, he's leaving a bank. If he pushes somewhere over here, he's leaving a cut. If he pushes down here where he's covering it, he's going to get put back in. So this is a problem. He's going to be put back in. He's leaving the choice of being put back in or go for the jump cut, and I don't know whether there's enough room there to get to that. Well, this is a good choice to be made here by Mr. Fox. What does he do? Because the push out's got me in a bit of a dilemma as to what I would do. I certainly wouldn't be good enough to get to that to play the cut. I don't know whether there's enough room to get to it to just gently nudge it into the middle. Yeah, he's went off the table. So Mr. Fox has took the bait, and in the end, Bill's won out on that tactical battle. But can he deliver? So ball in hand, everything on, and no excuse. And once again, this is a simple enough shot. The only thing that will go wrong is if this cue ball ends up somewhere in the jaws or in the pocket. He's well short of that. And now with this one, I would let it run up the middle of the table and hopefully avoid the 5. But you need to go right up past the middle pocket. And he's got it right. It opens up the line to the 4 comfortably. Now, what's the simplest shot with this? Well, it's certainly not rolling through for it in the middle. It doesn't go. So he's got to come back. And again, that shot was well controlled. Again, a quick glance. He's playing the draw. I'd be more inclined to run it off the side rail and just come out. I don't see a problem with that. He's got to get this nice. And that is pretty nice. Because it's a test of your nerves to play those type of little shots. The simpler shot and the chicken out shot is the one I was talking about. Just run through the rail and come out into the table. You've got to keep your nerves about you if you're going to play these little stun draws and not overhit them. Now, how's the line on this 8? Because you don't want to be threatening that middle pocket, and this is not a nice line. It's not a good line. He's got to be careful. And that's what I mean about being careful. And now he's got no option. It's the double bank. It's a good bank though, it has to be said. But it's this. To effectively stay in the match. And that's not going to do it. He's got the line actually too good. You're actually better getting it bad in the first line because you'll then get it in the second one up in the bottom left. So his chance is gone. You think the 8 was in play? See, that's where my eyes work differently from other folks. I would have maybe checked it a little bit to avoid the 8 anyway if I was down in the shot, but I would have been more inclined to play to the rail and out. But anyway, Bill's chance has gone. Mr. Fox on the hill, leading by 4, 1 away. And Bill now, it is definitely, most certainly, last chance saloon, back against the wall. Playing the push out, and he ain't got there, I don't think. Well, he's gone behind the 9, but it's not good enough because there isn't any pressure on Mr. Fox here other than just to jump and make the cut. Oh dear, well that was a poor attempt at the jump, it has to be said. And Bill has escaped for the time being, although the 2 ball's not exactly ideal. He's just going to have to nudge past the 8. Yeah, I think he's just got to come out to here and try the 2. Does he want... see, the problem now is if he's committed to getting the 2 into that pocket, he's looking at this 2-9. But that is not anywhere near good to be a 2-9 combo unless you get really good on it. Now I don't know what he's going to do. I am at a loss as to what he's going to do here with this shape. Oh, he's played it. And that was a cracking shot because that was not easy. That was not an easy shot. But he survives for 1 more. He gets a ball in the break. And, well, that 1 will go past the 9 and the 4, I think. It does. But he's got to run the cue ball, though. And hope he gets lucky if he's going to do that. I'm looking to see the line the cue ball's taking. And it's not nice. But he's got a cut. And another pressure cut at distance in this 2. And the cue ball's, if he gets the pace right, he's got to come up the table far enough and keep going, even if he's on the rail, to have a shot in the 3. The problem now though is he can't, I don't think he can roll this in dead weight to still have a cut in the 4. He's having to jack up. Well, his cue Bill must be playing with pivot English. His cue was not straight there. You'll need to watch that in the replay when he plays that shot. You'll see his cue was not straight. It was twisted when he went to play that shot, which is why he put unwanted spin on it. And anyway, he's got another bite at the cherry. But I could quickly see there when he played that shot that he wasn't cueing at it straight. That's another one. I mean, these look easy in a challenge room. 9 times out of 10 you get them. Well, he should be home and dry now. Well, it has developed into something similar in terms of how the match ended last night. If only that Spectre Don kept himself alive to the last rack when he looked dead and buried. And Bill is back to within 2. Now, how's the luck this time? Well, something's gone in. I'm pretty certain. And if the 1 ball keeps going, he's got a shot. But look at the 6. I mean, that is doing absolutely no thing where it's sitting there. Now, what does Bill do? I'm thinking from the point of view, he's trying to go all out and get the break. He's going to have to bail with the jump stick. The 9 balls come into play. And if he doesn't get this, he's just shot himself right in the foot because he's chosen to break the 9 and 6. He took a big risk. And if he doesn't get this too, it'll be his last shot. And he's hung it. And that may well be it. Bill took the risk with the opportunity he had. Now, is it or is that too cuttable? It might not be. He's going to have to try and kick it in. And he's going to have to get that right on the point there. And he's got it. Well, one thing's for certain, the cue ball's running. And it's unless he tries to do things with the cue ball, it's running up the centre of the table. And at best he might have a bank on the 4. No, he's trying to nurse it in and stay bottom side, and not being 100% committed. He's actually overcut the 3. Well, this is another chance for Bill to survive. He's hanging on. He took the risk breaking that. Now it's worked in his favour that he's got a second go at it. That he's opened up the 6 and 9 earlier on in the rack. Took a big risk. Ended up getting blocked behind the 9, missing the jump on the 2. And now he has a chance to get back to within 1. Oh, this is risky, Bill. This is very risky. Oh, I'll tell you something. He is extremely lucky. I mean, he'll get this with a spin. Oh, well, he's actually hit it too straight, and that is it. That is it. I thought he could get to it there. He had all of this area of the table to play the shot. So Mr. Fox, does he want to jack up or does he want to just run the cue ball? I think the safest route is to run it. Get it around the angles into the table somewhere. And he's got there. That's dead weight. And it's a good win for Mr. Fox. And Bill had those chances there. But getting himself in such bad shape on that 6 was the last straw. And Mr. Fox wins the match by 13 racks to 10. And that means that Mr. Fox now... Oh, what is that all about? Look what's happened here. I've ended up in another room. I'm glad you guys witnessed that, and I'm glad I've got this in video. Because how the hell have I ended up in this room? Well, that was weird. Did you are all watching this, aren't you? I have just left that room, and all of a sudden I'm in another room. Don't know what I mean, is this a tournament that we're actually in? Have we jumped from one tournament room to another one? Where did I double click? All I did was click to leave the room, and then I get that message, that quick message on the screen, and then all of a sudden I'm in a room. I didn't even see the lobby, remember? Oh, that is totally weird. Well, Steve's going to have to explain that one. So it's right at the end of the video. And Steve can go and have a look at it later on. Anyway, to the matter in hand, the top half of the draw now shows, of course, the result there from Mr. Fox. Not that one. Mr. Fox and Bill. Mr. Fox winning by 13 racks to 10. And now he's up against Mal. Well, remember again, it's only a race to 13. Mal's going to be the favourite, but it's the usual. As long as you can stay deep into the match, hanging on to one another's coattails, the pressure starts to build. So anything can happen now. Meanwhile, later on tonight, we have Albinario against Hairpig in their one-loss side match. That's going to be 8 o'clock British summer time, and I'll be there for that. And again, of course, the winner of that match, well, there's already someone waiting on him, and that's Spectre Dawn, the loser of last night's match against Stubb, and that is who they're going to play. So that is what's up next. I'll get Steve to have a look at the end of this video and see what he thinks. And until then, guys, thanks for your company. Thanks for taking time to drop by. And if you can, or if you can't, drop by later on. You can join the stream tonight. If not, you can watch it on YouTube. It'll be there. It'll be on the playlist, and you can catch up on it at a later date. And meanwhile, I'm off for a coffee and see if there's a film on or something. And I will see you later on. Take care.